A leadership re-election campaign officially launched. First tonight on Our News Live at 7, incumbent Michael Pintard announces his bid ahead of the party's crucial national convention. And from Eleuthera, a boy missing from last Wednesday is captured by authorities this morning after he tried to evade police. Plus, a sneak peek in Our News to the Island series that continues this weekend. We get a first look at a Crooked Islander who returned to his roots. And then in Our News at 7:30, talk continues. Gas retailers still pushing for an increase as fuel costs hover just above $6 per gallon. The Economic Affairs Minister speaks. Our News Live at 7 starts now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard was met by an enthusiastic crowd at his endorsement night at British Colonial Hotel last night. Marlena Leonard was there and tells us several well-known faces were among supporters.
Hopeful for re-election as Free National Movement party leader, Michael Pintard gave an impassioned speech that touched on issues like immigration, foreign investment, and procurement transparency at his endorsement night. There were some well-known faces in his crowd of supporters at the British Colonial Hotel, including former Minister of National Security Marvin Dames, who says he thought carefully before making his decision on whom to endorse.
And so I've done some deep reflection. I've spoken to both Minnis and Pintard, and I feel at this time and at this juncture, our best opportunity to take this party forward and to win the next general election, because that's what it's all about. It's bigger than Michael Pintard, and it's bigger than Hubert Minnis. You know, we have to position ourselves as a party, right, to dethrone the current government.
Former Tourism and Aviation Minister Dionisio de Aguilar says it's time for a younger person to lead the country.
I'm of the view that the country needs to make a generational shift. You've got Dr. Minnis and you've got Brave Davis, who at the next election will be 73 and 75 respectively. So they are coming to the country to serve from 75 to 80 and 73 to 78. We need a generational shift. It's time for a young, energetic, full of ideas, youthful person to assume the leadership of all the parties.
When asked his thoughts about Pintard's chances of re-election as party leader on June 1st, former Deputy Prime Minister Peter Turnquest had this to say.
I think the show of support tonight demonstrates that this is going to be a clear win. I am looking forward to June 2nd when we can get past this situation that we find ourselves in today, and we can focus on the party's plans for this country as we go ahead into 2026.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
And another man gunned down outside a home off Bernard Road, putting the country's murder count to 52. The deadly incident unfolding around 10 o'clock last night. Police say the 38-year-old victim had just arrived at home on Grays Terrace when he was ambushed by a gunman. Police say he tried to run but collapsed near his car after being shot several times. He was declared dead at the scene by EMS. Meanwhile, police say missing 13-year-old Matthew Tyson Brave has been found. The teen hadn't been seen by his father since May 15th. He was reported missing on May 22nd, and a Marcos alert was issued after 10 p.m. on Thursday, prompting an island-wide search. Police press liaison Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skipping says the teen was found around 8:30 this morning in an area known as The Landing near Governor's Harbor Airport.
The young man, for some reason, didn't want to be caught. And so when he saw law enforcement officers, he tried to evade them. Officers had to run him down, in essence, to capture him.
Skipping says the teen was taken to the local clinic to be examined. And while the investigation is ongoing, the chief superintendent says the fact that the teen ran is concerning.
Obviously, this sends a signal to us in law enforcement that there's definitely something wrong. When a young person leaves home from the 15th of May and law enforcement officers are trying to find you and you're attempting to evade us, I can say that he was found in good health. He's presently at the clinic in Eleuthera, having a thorough physical examination because we want to make sure that he is well.
A former lawyer will not be allowed to appeal his disbarment in the country's final court. Troy Kelman was ordered struck from the rolls last year in relation to his negligent conduct in a real estate sale where he acted for the vendor and seller. The Court of Appeal upheld the decision in January. Kelman was hired by the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation to prepare a mortgage for Caleb Dorset and Shameen Bain in 2013. He gave an opinion the property was good and marketable, but failed to disclose he also represented Lion Management, the company that was selling the property to Dorset and Bain. BMC alleged he failed to secure its interests, as neither the conveyance nor mortgage were stamped and recorded in the registry. Kelman also did not complete the first-time buyer's stamp tax exemption application for Dorset and Bain. Well, much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. And Greg, I know folks are preparing for several outdoor events this weekend, including boaters for the Full Throttle Reloaded event. This heat wave makes it a perfect time, right?
Yeah.
Sort
of. My suggestion to you for this weekend, because we may have to reissue a heat advisory because temperatures are starting to climb. But if you plan on being out in the outdoors, drink lots of water, wear some loose clothing, and take frequent breaks from the...
Your sunscreen.
Yeah, and wear some sunscreen. As for you boaters, you're going to love it. The water's going to be just flat. Winds are going to be light and variable, so we'll show you that in a short while. But it's going to be warm, and we are still warm outside our studios. 84 degrees, few clouds. The winds are out of the northeast now at 6 miles per hour, but those feels like temperature very near the 90-degree mark at 89. Temperatures around the islands right now, it's 83 in Freeport, 80 over in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Governor's Harbor as well, 83, Alistown, Bimini, Nichols, San Andros, Great Harbor Key, and here in the capital, we are 84. Central Bahamas, 82, Kemps Bay, 82 also in Coburn Townsend, Salvador, 80 in Arthurstown, Cat Island, Georgetown, and Deadman's Key, you guys are 81, and into the southeast Bahamas, the clouds are leaving out there, so temperatures near the 80-degree mark, 82 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, and in Providenciales, Twix and Caicos, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, and Abrahams Bay, all 81. Matthewtown, Inagua, you guys are 83 at this hour. Satellite radar composite showing quiet and just stable conditions across most of the island. That upper level disturbance now well out there to the east of the Bahamas. National Hurricane Center also watching this area, but it's giving just about a 10% chance for formation, but that system will continue to move into the open Atlantic. But high pressure is going to be across us. Very warm temperatures expected for the weekend. Once again, drink lots of water, take frequent breaks, and wear that sunscreen. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us to look at your weekend forecast. It's still to come.
Still to come, a sneak peek in our News to the Island series on Crooked Island. We'll get a first look at Chief Counselor David Ferguson, who returned home to his roots. Plus, the student granted UB now extends to cover free summer classes. But just how do they feel about the opportunity to jumpstart their courses? Find out when our news returns.
This clear, people this friendly, views this breathtaking, deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought Season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for Season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stax be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for Season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
So you said you're here for Sally's funeral? How do you know Sally?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not. Watch what you say about Sally. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
This is 242 The Gospel, where we celebrate our Bahamian artists. You've been asking for more, and they're here to deliver. Welcome to the second season of 242 The Gospel. Who will be #1? Let's find out.
Our News to the Island series continues on Crooked Island this week as our news anchor, Candino Knowles, takes us on a week-long journey to encounter extraordinary residents who embody the essence of the island. In a moment, we'll introduce you to David Ferguson, a native son who recently reclaimed his roots to become chief counselor. But before we get to his story, if you're currently enrolled at University of the Bahamas under the student grant, then you may qualify for free summer classes. The scholarship now covers summer programs as a jumpstart on courses. But how do students feel about it? Well, our Joshua Williams shares their views.
The Bahamas tertiary grant being available during the summer allows me to get some classes done, as well as maybe begin to work because there's a work-study program. So I can also make some money and complete my major in time.
The summer semester is now in full swing at the University of the Bahamas, and students are taking full advantage of the recent expansion of the government's tertiary grant program. The grant now officially covers summer courses. We took some time to wander onto the university campus to speak with some of the students about the recent achievements and what other improvements they would like to see in the university in the future.
There are spaces to hang out on campus, but some of us are here from maybe whenever you get dropped off in the morning to late in the evening. So maybe a better space where you feel a bit more safer and you can enjoy this company with your friends and do work.
I think they should offer more classes for certain majors because, for example, CIS hasn't been offered in the higher levels.
I would like to see either more classrooms for certain subjects or larger classes because sometimes it's difficult to get into certain classes.
In the future, I would like to see UB offering more programs and more advanced programs, like I say, and more clubs. I feel like they have a lot of clubs now, but more clubs that would help people and what people are actually interested in.
With focus and determination in the eyes of every student, it's evident that the University of the Bahamas has kept its word of building brighter futures for Bahamians. As the institution celebrates 50 years, students hope the university continues to stay true to its mission to advance and expand access to higher education. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
And after facing a wave of social media backlash regarding the recent venue change for UB's graduation ceremony, the acting president is also shedding light on the reasons behind the switch. That story coming up in our news at 7:30. When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as a top UN court orders Israel to halt its military offensive in Gaza. Plus, UNICEF sounds the alarm on Haiti's health system on the verge of collapse. And Apple Music names Lauryn Hill's Miseducation Best Album of All Time when our news returns.
Water this clear, people this friendly. Views this breathtaking deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought Season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for Season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stocks be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for Season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
So you said you're here for Sally's funeral? How do you know Sally?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not. Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
This is 242 The Gospel, where we celebrate our Bahamian artists. You've been asking for more, and we're here to deliver. Welcome to the second season of 242 The Gospel. Who will be #1? Let's find out.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The UN's top court has ordered Israel to stop its military offensive in Rafah, Gaza, but stopped short of a full ceasefire. The decision by the International Criminal Court adds to international pressure as criticism of Israel's actions grows. 3 European countries recognized a Palestinian state this week, while the ICC requested arrest warrants for Hamas leaders and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Netanyahu faces calls to end the conflict, triggered by Hamas-led attacks that killed 1,200 Israelis on October 7th. United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund warns that Haiti's health system is on the brink of collapse, with 60% of hospitals barely functional. UNICEF says the disruption has left vulnerable children at heightened risk. The reopening of Port-au-Prince's airport on Sunday has not eased the backlog of vital supplies. As UNICEF says, looting is exacerbating shortages. The UN says violence, displacement, epidemics, and malnutrition have severely strained the system. MasterCard announced a major upgrade Wednesday in its fraud detection technology, integrating artificial intelligence to identify compromised card and debit cards before criminals can use them. Executive Vice President Johan Gerber explained, generative AI helps the company identify compromised credentials quickly and take action to protect customers. The new AI-powered system will analyze patterns such as geography and transaction times. And Apple Music has revealed its top 10 greatest albums of all time, with Lauryn Hill's 1998 debut, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, claiming the #1 spot. Upon receiving the news, Hill said, "This is my award, but it's a rich, deep narrative involving so many people." Apple Music's list, curated by experts and artists, highlights iconic records from Beyoncé, Kendrick Lamar, Stevie Wonder, Amy Winehouse, and Nirvana. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was May 24th. Then in our news at 7:30, rev your engines as Bahamas Powerboat Club presents Full Throttle Reloaded. Our Danielle Miller takes us along for the ride. But first, fresh, clean water flowing in Exuma thanks to a $9 million water improvement project. We'll tell you the size of the newly commissioned water main when our news returns.
Water this clear, people this friendly, views this breathtaking deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought Season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for Season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stax be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for Season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
Welcome back to our news. It's time now to turn our spotlight on events that shaped the day that was May 24th. Let's take a look.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1905, on what was known as Empire Day, the day Queen Victoria was born, the Imperial Order Daughters of the Empire unveiled the statue of Queen Victoria in Rawson Square. Then in 1964, Richard George Dean died in Florida. Known by his stage name Sweet Richard, he was an entertainer, nightclub owner, limbo and fire dancer, and junkaneur. May 24th, 1966, the Bahamian dollar replaced the Bahamian pound as the official currency of the Bahama Islands. Then on this day in 1969, John Lennon and Yoko Ono arrived in Freeport, Grand Bahama. The pair were married earlier in the year in March and held a bed in peace for Vienna to protest war in general and in particular the Vietnam War. Also in 2013 was the start of the inaugural Pure Silk Bahamas LPGA Classic, which was held at Ocean Club Golf Course on Paradise Island from May 24th to 26th. Il-hee Lee of South Korea won the event. Then in 2014 was another sporting event. This one, the inaugural IAAF World Relays at Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. The event was held from May 24th through 25th. 3 years later, in 2017, was the opening of Parliament following the Free National Movement's landslide win at the polls on May 10th. And finally, on this day in 2022, our news reported on finance officers who were overpaid $4 million after salary adjustments. Minister of State for Public Service Pia Glover-Roll confirmed a financial audit revealed some finance workers adjusted their own salaries in their favor.
Are you looking for a fun-filled day where every moment is a chance to win something amazing, while also munching on the best food in town? Then you may want to check out St. Joseph Catholic Parish's Bazaar and Raffle on Saturday. It's the church's first major bazaar since the pandemic, as the church celebrates 90 years of community service. Vice President of the Finance Committee is Yuli Bastian.
The Catholic community in the Bahamas has been one of service, one of coming together, and this is another opportunity that St. Joseph is reaching out to Bahamian people to come and share with us, to mix and mingle, for us to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of frolic, and to enjoy all that we will be offering them on Saturday coming.
Prizes will include a brand new car and so much more. This year's financial target is set at $90,000, and organizers say every penny raised will go a long way.
Church has needs. We continue to feed the poor. We have the soup kitchen, for example, every Saturday, and people come expecting to receive a hot meal. We've continued that tradition of feeding the poor, and of course education and other services that we offer to the Bahamian community, and of course to continue to maintain the church. We have to pay light bills, we have to pay air conditioning, and all of those bills that are usual for running a facility.
Our News to the Island series continues this week with a spotlight on Crooked Island. Our news anchor, Kendino Knowles, takes us on a week-long journey as he encounters some extraordinary residents who proudly represent the essence of the island. Among them is David Ferguson, a native son who recently reclaimed his roots, ascending to the role of chief counselor. Growing up immersed in the island's culture, David's connection runs deep, with his parents still residing there. Although he pursued education in Nassau at 14, he says his ties to family and Crooked Islanders remained unwavering. We've got this sneak peek into the next installment, which airs in Our News Weekend.
Cassius Moss hailed me one day. He's from Auckland. He's passed now, but he referred to his people as countrymen. Hey, countrymen. You know, and that I think that bond, you don't change. It don't change.
What's the pride for you at Crooked Island now?
The pride for me primarily, like I said earlier, you know, is I don't believe what I can say gain from being here. Because truth be told, if I had, say, invested the funds I invested in Crooked Island over the years, if I did that, use that same amount of investment in New Providence, you know, I'd probably be much better off. And I understand that. But I get a joy and a satisfaction, one, that I was able to convince my wife Barbara to come and be a part of this.
And we'll tell you more about David and Barbara's journey back to Crooked Island and how their retirement was driven by a desire to invest in their community. And to watch today's top stories, and for all of today's top stories rather, be sure to visit ournews.bs. That does it for Our News at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia, happy Friday to
Friday.
you.
I saw someone post, it's time to weekend, and I am looking forward to it. What about you?
I am happy for you. I am looking forward to being here with our wonderful audience on Saturday and Sunday.
I'm so sorry, but at least you get to rest next week while I'm here.
At least I get to rest. I love it here, and a special happy birthday to my little cousin, Rochelle Saunders. Happy 30th.
Birthday. All right, thanks so much, Megan. Well, a $9 million water improvement project commissioned on Exuma, plus police following significant leads in a missing teen's case. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, police following significant leads into the disappearance of 16-year-old Devin Isaacs. Plus, government and fuel retailers still looking for a solution as it relates to gas margins. The Economic Affairs Minister says there will be an update in a matter of weeks. Plus, major upgrades to Exuma's potable water system soon to come on stream. Our news team is on the ground. And later, the University of the Bahamas graduation ceremony will relocate to Atlantis due to repairs at the National Stadium. Our Joshua Williams has an exclusive story from the president of the institution when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as NT Corporation shines brighter than ever. NT Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task, unplugging appliances not in use. That's energy conservation. Replacing an old refrigerator, washing machine with a new model, adding insulation to the attic and walls of a home. That's energy efficiency. People conserve to gain more control.
Welcome to our news. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Police are hopeful that Devin Isaacs could be found by the end of the day. That's according to Press Liaison Chief Superintendent Christine Skippings. Devin was reported missing last Wednesday, and a Marcos alert was issued for the missing 16-year-old on Whit Monday. The case has gathered the interest of the public, and his family has been vocal about his disappearance, even holding a vigil over the weekend. His mother telling our news earlier this week that she wants her son to be released, while today's Skippings telling reporters that officers are close to solving the case.
Based on new intelligence that we've gathered, and I can say that we're following significant leads into this matter at this time. I'm hoping that before the end of the day, members of the press, we can come back to you and provide you with additional information. I'm not going to give too much information, or I'm going to limit what I say in relation to that, because we want to find Devin.
All right, and we will continue to follow this story. Well, a junior ranking police officer accused of molesting his daughter will be tried later this year. The 33-year-old corporal who's been suspended from duty received an October 1st trial date after he was arraigned on 10 counts of incest before Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson. He hasn't been named to protect the identity of his daughter. Prosecutors allege that the officer began molesting his 10-year-old daughter in November 2020. The abuse allegedly continued until February 24, 2023. His daughter is now 12 years old. A woman who claims she stabbed her former lover in self-defense has been convicted of causing grievous harm. Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vo Evans found the charge proven against Rachel Johnson. The 23-year-old has to pay Shadrach Gibson $3,000 in compensation to avoid spending a year in prison. Johnson never denied stabbing her former partner on June 19, 2023. She said that Gibson showed up at her home in Cambridge Lane uninvited and asked her to come in her home. When she declined, he allegedly tried to force his way inside. Johnson alleged that Gibson hit her in the face and started to take off her clothes, prompting her to grab a knife and stab him multiple times. After years of fuel retailers asking for margin increases, Minister of Economic Affairs Michael Halkita says he's hoping for a resolution in a matter of weeks. Petroleum dealers have been saying that margins are impacting their profits for years. Halkita says the search for a compromise continues.
Our concern has always been the impact on the driving public. And then when you talk about diesel, you're talking about the bus drivers and the fishermen and that sort of thing. And so I say over and over again, we're sympathetic to their plight. It's a difficult environment. We're moving closer. And so I think we can, without sort of promising anything, I think we're moving closer. I understand that they are very anxious. They've been very patient, and they've continued to endure a difficult environment. We're not unsympathetic.
The minister says they're actively working towards a new proposal.
Again, we don't want Bahamians to just automatically you go to the pump and you have a higher price. So it's trying to do that balancing act. We understand these are Bahamian entrepreneurs who've invested in many times their life savings, they've gone into debt, they're struggling to make it, and so we're not unmindful of that. But on the other side is the Bahamian driver. So we're tweaking some proposals where we can minimize the increase, and we want to get that resolved and out of the way within the next couple of weeks.
All right, well, residents of Exuma are benefiting from fresh, clean water. It's a part of the Water and Sewerage Corporation's $9 million water improvement project. The project will include the installation of over 100,000 feet of water main. As for what else the project includes, WSC Senior Engineer Deidre Taylor tells us more.
About 33,000 feet of 6-inch, 4-inch, and 2-inch in this area, which is from Stewart's Manor to Baratari. It will be about 14,000 in Georgetown, which some will be new mains, some are mains renewals. And then we will be in Little Exuma, which will be approximately over 50,000 feet of water main, which will be from Hartsville to Williamstown.
The work is being carried out by Rowdy Boys and Baker Wick, which are Bahamian-owned companies. The upgrade provides Exuma residents with clean, potable water, as many of the areas are affected by brackish water. Work in Baratari is 95% complete, according to officials, and the remainder of the work is scheduled to be complete by October. Well, we spoke to some residents who are pleased with what's been done so far.
Every household in Baratari, they use their private wells. And, sometimes the wells, the water is a bit salty, hard or whatever. But, what it is to get city water, I just can't explain it. I'm so excited to see everything come into fruition.
All right, great news for that island. Well, scorching hot temperatures to kick off the weekend. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
You said scorching?
Scorching.
Yeah. We are likely to reintroduce a heat advisory for the weekend and beginning of next week because the temperatures are going to take a big increase and those heat indices will be climbing into triple digits. So this weekend, drink lots of water and stay out of the sun as much as you could. Pleasant conditions outside our studios right now, 84 degrees. It is warm. Northeast winds, 8 miles per hour. Your field side temperature, it's still hovering in the upper 80s to near the 90-degree mark. Satellite and radar composite, quiet across most of the chain of islands. That upper level system has pulled out. There's still some trailing moisture across the extreme southeast Bahamas as well as the Turks and Caicos Islands. You guys could see a couple isolated showers down there. But this high pressure will dominate our weather through the weekend into early next week. Temperatures expected to increase. So once again, make sure you drink lots of water and take frequent breaks. And of course, use the sunscreen or stay out of the sun. That's the key thing. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us and look at your weekend forecast.
Still to come on our news, the University of the Bahamas graduation ceremony relocating to Atlantis due to repairs at the National Stadium. The president of the institution speaks. Also, contractors in Grand Bahama learning how to use the e-procurement system. We have details from the recent workshop coming up, and later, a forward look for the country's economic product in the coming months. When our news returns, stay with us.
Water this clear, people this friendly, views this breathtaking, deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stocks be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
Following social media backlash over the sudden venue change for the University of the Bahamas graduation ceremony, the school's acting president tells us what prompted the switch. Our Joshua Williams reports.
The venue has changed, but the show will go on. The University of the Bahamas changing the location for its graduation ceremony. This as a result of ongoing repairs at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. Acting University President Janine Hodder tells us that the ceremony will take place next week Thursday at the Atlantis Resort at 2 p.m.
At the same time, we responsibly began to look at other options. What were the options that were out there? And finally, the best option for us, the one most likely to allow us to preserve the celebratory nurture, was Atlantis.
The decision not sitting well with students, many of them taking to social media airing their grievances. Like this person who says tickets were booked and plans already made. And this comment saying it's absolutely deplorable for an institution who claims to be a university. This one complaining that disappointment happens every year. Graduates also aired their grievances last night at the official rehearsal. Hodder says she understands their frustrations.
I think that most students understand that circumstances arose that were really beyond our control, and that what we're trying to do now is to make sure that we provide an event that's going to allow them to celebrate with their families and with us.
While the concern of family members traveling for this year's graduation has been raised, well, the president says it's already being addressed.
That we're in discussions with Bahamas Air to see whether we can ensure that if any of our graduates' immediate family members have to change their reservations, we can work with them to facilitate that.
Up to 7 guests will be allowed per graduate for a class totaling just over 600. Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister Latrey Ramming says the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium, with a seating capacity of 7,500, was made available. At the end of the day, the university says their focus is ahead.
The most important day in the life of a university is commencement. And what we stand for, knowledge, truth, integrity, is making that day as perfect as we can make it.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Josh. Well, over 150 Grand Bahamian contractors turned out for an information and training session on how to use government e-procurement portal. The contractors workshop, spearheaded by the Ministry for Grand Bahamas Collab Unit, and invited contractors with businesses registered under government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Now, the portal allows all licensed contractors to register, bid on government projects across the country, and follow their process after bidding. Minister for Grand Bahama Ginger Moxie says she believes the workshop is necessary so that contractors are aware as to how the platform works.
If we are to keep up with global trends and practices where businesses are concerned, such transformation is necessary. We have to be innovative enough to adjust our business models in an effort to work closely with industry and workforce so that we, and that includes you, are in a position to capture revenue streams locally and internationally.
Chairman of the Tenders Committee in the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Ferez Roll, says it's the first workshop of its kind in Grand Bahama.
A lot of the contractors understood the process. Even up to this week, we noticed that a number of persons who were at that workshop were able to go in the portal and actually bid on contracts. And so we are seeing persons who are eager. We anticipate there are going to be some more contractors who may be coming forward. And from this process now, the Tenders Committee, we plan to sit down and see how we can be able to expand this to not just the contractors, but to vendors all across Grand Bahama. We are persons who may want to be interested in offering office supplies, other sorts of equipment to the ministry.
The Bahamas is projected to experience an economic growth spurt over the next few years. Reports say the country's GDP is expected to expand by some 4.3% The country's success in the past few months is mostly driven by the tourism sector, as well as construction demands and the economic recovery following the COVID-19 pandemic. As the second quarter prepares to come to an end, VP and Group Head of Investment at RF Bank and Trust, David Slatter, shares how the country may perform for the third quarter and the end of 2024. He also talks about how the local stock market is performing.
So hopefully, in real terms, we still have positive growth for the balance of the year. So we'll have decent nominal growth, and if inflation comes down, then hopefully that means we'll have a decent level of real growth. But it won't be at the pace it was last year. All right, so we need to be realistic in our expectations. Positive growth, but slowing. So remain diligent with respect to budgeting. Be consistent with investing, but be prudent with your decisions. The local stock market has been going sideways for a lot so far this year. There are a few companies that have done well, some that have gone down. And I think it's a function of, really a good year last year. So sometimes people take some profits, but this is now dividend season. So we've got 7 stocks that have recently announced dividend payments to their shareholders. So we all like some cash in our pockets. So when companies issue dividends, that usually is a positive for the share price. Some of the dividends have been increasing too. So there's still opportunities out there. You just need to be a little more nuanced in your investment decisions.
When our news comes back from the break, the Bahamas Power Boat Club giving boat lovers another opportunity to experience its popular full throttle event. The full story coming up.
Coming up in sports, preliminary rounds are complete at the Samuel Haven High School Soccer Nationals, and the BLTA names its 2024 Davis Cup team.
Plus, warm weather conditions around the islands on this Friday. Greg is back with more weather details when our news continues.
Water this clear, people this friendly, views this breathtaking deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought Season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for Season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stax be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for Season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
So you said you're here for Sally's funeral? How do you know Sally?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not.
Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
This is our news. Welcome back. After a 15-year-old was shot and killed in his home while sleeping earlier this month, police are urging parents to take a more active role in supervising their children following a concerning increase in shootings and gang-related incidents involving minors. The alarming trend has prompted police officials to issue a public plea highlighting the critical need for parental involvement in preventing more bloodshed.
I want to encourage parents. You should know who your children's friends are. If for some reason you see friends of your children not coming around, or there's something negative being said, as a department, we want you to come in and sit down and have a conversation with us. We have to try to dissolve these, or resolve these conflicts that are going on that our young people seem that they're unable to resolve among themselves. We see 15 and 16-year-olds with firearms in their hands. Something is wrong with that. Fathers, you too have a role to play. Go and seek out your children.
The police department has documented a significant number of cases where minors were found in possession of firearms or involved in gang disputes. In many instances, these juveniles come from households where parental supervision is lacking, contributing to their susceptibility to criminal influences, and police are promising a crackdown on parents.
Parents, it's time for you to start parenting your children properly. And I can assure you, we're going to look and find areas within the statutes where we can also place you before the courts, because you have to be accountable for your children's actions.
All right, well, play continues on the pitch at the Samuel Haven Soccer Nationals, and find out about the new members of the Davis Cup team. Here now with Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors, is Ronaldo Dorset and John Marknutt.
Thanks, Natalia, and welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknutt. Let's do show. The Samuel Haven High School National Soccer Championships continued yesterday with the conclusion of its preliminary round. In Game 1, the Liferkey Dragons defeated the CV Bethel Stingrays 14-0. Issa Borna scored 6 goals to lead the Dragons' overpowering offense, and Yasmin Kennedy scored 4 goals. In Game 2, the Windsor boys defeated the GHS Magic 2-1. Windsor got an early 2-goal lead, and the Magic were unable to score the equalizer in the second half. In Match 3, the Dragons were on the winning end once again when they defeated the CR Walker Knights 5-4 on penalty kicks. After a scoreless regulation, scoring picked up in the penalties. After Wilson Jasmine missed a penalty for the Knights, Joshua O'Brien scored the final goal for the Dragons, giving them the win. The draw for the semi-final pairings will take place Monday morning. Teams on the girls' side include St. Andrews, CR Walker, Liferkey, and Bishop Michael Eldon. Teams on the boys' side include Anatole Rogers, Windsor, Liferkey, and Lucayan International.
Amid controversy surrounding the selection process, the Bahamas Lawn and Tennis Association named the Davis Cup team. The team will be led by the country's top-ranked players Justin Roberts, Michael Major Jr., Dante Ambrister, and Denali Nottage. They will be coached by Ricardo Demerit. The team will compete in the Americas Zone 3, and their first tie will be June 17th to 22nd in Paraguay. Much of the dialogue around the team has been the notable absences, including Baker Newman and Kevin Major Jr. Newman earned a spot after winning the Giorgio Baldacci Nationals. BLTA executives said in an official release that Newman communicated his inability to represent this year on the 2024 Cup. Major went on to have a top 2 finish at last week's team qualifying tournament, earning a spot to replace Newman. Major then withdrew a day later due to several reasons, citing issues with the selection process of the players, coaches, and BLTA executives.
So the tipping point for me really was Baker being kicked off the team, and that doesn't really make sense to me, seeing that he's the #1 player in the country. And then again, it's like, are we going to win? Like, what's really going on?
Lou Rawls Nairn continues his ascent up the NCAA Division I coaching ranks. Nairn has been promoted to associate head coach under Tony Simon with the Bowling Green Falcons. Bowling Green was one of 10 teams in the nation to go from 20 losses in 2023 to 20 wins in 2024. Nairn's coaching career began as a player development coach with the Phoenix Suns in 2018. He followed with 2 seasons as a grad assistant at his alma mater, Michigan State, under Tom Izzo. In 2021, he moved on to become head coach at another former school, Sunrise Christian Academy, where he led them to an Elite 8 appearance in the National Prep Tournament. Friday, we made it to the fun part. Let's get to top plays. Coming in at number 5, Jonquel Jones getting it done on both ends. On the boards, running in transition, JJ with the finish.
At number 4, BJ Murray has been on fire at the plate. This was his 3rd home run in 8 games.
At number 3, Liferkey thought they had an easy goal in the box. Heady play by CR Walker's Robbins Leon.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. has been getting it done at the plate. Now he's flashing his love in the outfield with a web gem.
And at number 1, Issa Borna scoring her 6th goal of the match with class. Liferkey football, Issa problem. That'll do it for Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. For John Marknutt, I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, the Bahamas Power Boat Club giving boat enthusiasts another opportunity to experience its popular Full Throttle event. We have the full story coming up. plus lovely weather conditions to kick off the weekend. Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast when our news continues.
So you said you're here for Sully's funeral? How do you know Sully?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not.
Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
This is 242 The Gospel, where we celebrate our Bahamian artists. You've been asking for more and they're here to deliver. Welcome to the second season of 242 The Gospel. Who will be number one? Let's find out.
Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task. Turning off lights when you leave a room. Unplugging appliances not in use. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand.
Welcome back to our news. Extremely hot temperatures on this Friday. Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia. Welcome back, everybody, for your final look at weather. Of course, the weekend is expected to be hot. We expect a heat wave to start moving into our area. Big dome of high pressure will dominate our weather for the weekend and into early next week. So look for a possible issuance of heat advisory starting this weekend. First, though, before we get started, let's tell you what's going to be happening. Of course, the official start of the hurricane season begins June 1st, and that runs through November 30th. The NOAA, National Hurricane Center, they had their numbers put out day before yesterday, and of course Colorado State did it early in the season, and these are the numbers, and it is expected to be a much above our average hurricane season. So this is the time for you to start getting prepared for the upcoming hurricane season. Colorado State has about 23 named storms. 11 of them expected to become hurricanes. 5 of those will become major hurricanes, and these are some other numbers that we are looking at. Of course, all indications are that the hurricane season will be a very active one. Some of the names we will be going through: Alberto, Gordon, Helene, Kirk, Raphael, Sarah, and of course William. So we may exhaust this list, and then we will be moving into a supplementary list, starting with the alphabetic once again. So we are out of the Greek alphabet for the upcoming hurricane season. Satellite view, it's quiet out there right now. We do have a system that the National Hurricane Center is watching, has about a 10% chance for formation, but that system will continue to pull towards the north and away from us. Should be moving into some cooler waters, rest of the Atlantic, very hot, and it's plenty fuel for the upcoming hurricane season. Taking a look at our future forecast, quiet across our area through tomorrow, nothing much happening. That trailing moisture with that upper level system will be moving out of our area. We could see some pop-up isolated showers and thunderstorms during the day, and into Sunday, much the same, but high pressure and hot temperatures expected during that time frame. Boating conditions, all areas tonight to tomorrow. It's going to be nice, so if you plan on doing anything on the waters, stay in the shade, drink lots of water. Northeast to easterly winds, 10 knots. They will fall light and variable at times, and your seas will be running 1 to 3 feet. High tide is at 8:46 tonight, low tide at 3:17 tomorrow. Taking a look at our national forecast, sunshine across most of the islands. In your extended forecast, sunny, hot conditions. Temperatures will be in the upper 80s to the low 90s. And then by Monday, Tuesday, we expect those temperatures to plug itself into the 90s. Heat indices will be approaching the triple digits. So once again, we are urging you to make sure you take the precautions, drink lots of liquid, and stay safe. That's a look at our weather. Make it a great night, and have a safe weekend, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, the Bahamas Power Boat Club giving boat enthusiasts another opportunity to experience its popular Full Throttle event. It comes weeks after the first event was hampered by rough seas. But as our Daniel Miller tells us, it's more about having a good time.
Get ready to start your engines. This Saturday, Bahamas Power Boat Club presents Full Throttle Reloaded.
This is a beautiful time for all of us to get together, to unite, to drink, to smoke, and just have a good time and just be free and just love each other as Bahamians. That's what it's about.
It's this mantra that's fueling the Reloaded event, as some participants were not able to make the poker run on May 4th. On Saturday, boaters will depart from Montague and travel to Calypso Beach on Rose Island. Here is where the club will host their Reloaded Beach Party and announce the winner of the poker run, who will be awarded $10,000. For more information, you can visit the Bahamas Power Boat Club on social media. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, sounds exciting. Thanks so much, Denny, and thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.